Hello, this is Ruby Retrograde Tarot and Tay here, already knocking out my stuff. And what I'll be talking to you guys about, it is not quite an unboxing because I did not buy it from the creator's website directly. I actually got it secondhand, but it's still a flip through and kind of an unboxing per se. But anyways, the deck that I'm talking about, it is the Embroidered Tarot by Alicia May Vavoukakis. This is an independent deck. It was on Kickstarter, I want to say perhaps back in 2020 or something like that. The reason I finally got it, because I was able to get it more locally as opposed to buying it from their website. The shipping and exchange rate was just going to be, it was too much for me. Like, I just didn't want to spend that much. And it so happened that someone was wanting to go with it. And the reason why it kind of has been going in my mind until I finally got it is that this deck was created by embroidery, hence the Embroidered Forest Tarot. And you can even kind of see in the little image there, it's a needle with a thread going through, which is really cool. And even the box here, it's like a fabric design. It's a two-part box with a little thumb insert, which is nice, so you can pull that off. I'll also be doing a little review because I did go through it because I was really happy to get it and not have to pay shipping fee and the whole issue with the packages. And I did go through it myself beforehand and went through the guidebook, so there'll be a little bit of a review with it. And so I'll give you my plus and minuses about it, because I'm in this deck. You'll see what I mean. Like, I'm kind of conflicted, if I can call it that. So as you can see, it has some nice silver foil, which I guess is the second favorite after gold foil. At the back it says, walk through an enchanted embroidered forest, meet the hares, they are the pentacles, the swans are the cups, foxes are wands, and bees are the swords. The rest is up to you and your intuition where they will take you, or well, where will they take you, sorry. So we have a full deck. This is the back of the cards. It follows the box with the green fabric and the green foil. It has also green silver edges, which is nice and pretty and shiny. And what kept the reason why it was bugging me is I like and enjoy needle arts, like sewing and crocheting and knitting. I do it not as often as I would like, just because there's so much things to be going on in a day. You only have 24 hours and two hands. But yeah, just looking at it, and we'll go through each of them and you'll see how really nice just the artistry and the effort. I believe the creator said that it took them like either 10 months or a year, or maybe even a little bit over a year to complete those. And it's so cool. And as you can see, it's a nice sturdy, thick looking deck. Has a little bit of a gloss. Now I probably should talk about it after, but you'll notice for the foil, especially for the silver, it looks nice, but for clear backgrounds like here, it can get washed out. It'll be hard to see, so you'll miss things like the title and things like that. But here, if you can just look at the artistry. Now for some pictures, you'll see that it's the embroidery was made on the same fabric. On other cards, it'll be as if they did it, let's say, on a clear fabric like that, but they went and pasted it on a other background. Why am I saying this? Is because my brain obsesses about things like that. There was something that I was in me observing each card. That's what I picked up on. Whether someone can prove me wrong or right, this is what I'm feeling. And you'll see it especially in the minors. In the major, I do believe it's all on they were all embroidered in the fabric that you see here. But in the minors, there were some things that made me think that it was more of a embroidering a set of elements, and depending on what it was, there was like a little bit of copy paste and editing going on here. Not that it takes away from the whole work, because I mean, like, it takes a lot of patience to embroider, first of all. Like, sewing, okay, like if you're patching a hole or anything like that, yes, it's a bit tedious, but actually going through a design and embroidering it. And here you see, for example, for the daffodil, like there's specific needle threading techniques that were employed here. So it's really, really, really cool, and it's really pretty. Okay, and even the bird here, you can see like that little I don't know what's the exact name of that technique, but it's essentially when you have your needle through, you kind of swirl the thread around before going back in, so that you have that little relief going on here. And it's just these little touches that are really nice. So we'll go through each card while I can stop babbling already about the details. But yeah, this is one thing for the cards with a brighter background. If you're trying to take pictures, or you want, yeah, if you're passing your camera through it, you'll have a little bit, the titles or the silver foil aspects might get lost. Anyways, let's start with the Fool. Like you talked about it, it's so pretty. Then we have the Magician, which is a stoat. I learned that word recently, not a ermine or a what's the other one, a ferret. It's a stoat, which is different. And just look at all the details here. It's so pretty, like all the flowers, the bees going on. Like, now we have an owl for the High Priestess. Like the needlepoint is so cool. The Empress. We got some beadwork even going on here. And the Emperor. And so here, okay, I see that it's a Hierophant, but depending if I block the sunlight that's going through the window, you might not see it all the way proper, but it's the Hierophant. Though this card could also pass for a Wheel of Fortune almost, just in my opinion. Then we have the Lovers. That is the Chariot. You have a set of caterpillars pulling a ladybug. I believe it is. I think that's what's happening. Then Strength. Now, because it's a forest, we can't be using a lion or tiger or whatever else, so we have a deer. And this is the Hermit. In the booklet, which I'll show, they say that these are the eyes of a lynx poking through. So don't be like me and thinking like, who's watching? What is this person? It's actually a lynx. And there is the Wheel of Fortune, which once again, it's so pretty, and you can see like from seeds and it's germinating up until it becomes this beautiful array of flowers before they fade away, they wilt away. Then we have Justice. I forgot to mention that the deck is RWS inspired. So that's the creator did make mention of that. Then the Hangman and Death, which I find is really pretty. If I remember correct, that's a crow skull. Then Temperance with otters. See, I don't know if it translates well on the camera, but it's hard to see in good daylight through a camera, the word, but if I kind of hide it like this, you can see it better. There we have the Devil. It's so well, I can't even say it's so well drawn, it's so well sewn, it's so fun. There we have the Tower. that is the star. So see if I hide it, you can kind of read it better. And the background here, it's so nice. The moon, the sun, there we have judgment, and then the world. Just look, I think it's an egg if I'm not mistaken, and just look, the little, even with like while she's the eggs was filled in, there's like a little design within, which is so cool. Like I don't know, I admire it so much. It's like so, like the handiness, the skills, so nice. And then we have the snake over there, and even on the snake you can see there's a scale pattern used. So cool, so cool. And here we have, you know what, I just noticed that I went through the cards and it didn't click until now that I'm doing this flip through. You will see these images again in the minors. So these are all the minors. So this is wands, this here will be swords, this will be cups, and then this will be pentacles. But these images we will see again in the minor suits. So now we are at the swords, represented by the bees, the ace, got 2 of swords, 3 of swords. This reminds us of the RWS style. The 4 of swords, the 5 of swords, Six of swords, floating away on the leaf, the 7 of swords, Eight of swords, then 9, and 10, where it looks like either the bees being stabbed by all the dandelions or like they're passing through a patch of dandelions. And now the page. And so remember, when I was telling you that you'll see those little brooch, let me go back. So see here, these brooches will make their reappearances in the page position for each of their respective suits. Here we have the knight, the queen of swords. I just can't get over it, like all the embroidery, the needlepoint, it's so cool. Here we have the king. Now we're going to move on to the wands, represented by the foxes and sunflowers. This is the ace, got 2, 3, and here we have like a canopy with the 4 of wands, with the little itty bitty foxes. 5, 6, 7. Oops, sorry about that. The 8 of wands. Looks like it's waiting for whatever message or message that's gonna come through or something. Here we have the 9 and the 10 of wands. Moving on to the quartz. Here is the page. I do like these brooch. Yeah, I'm gonna call them brooches. It's probably not a brooch, but anyways, these brooches. it's just so pretty to look at. Then we have our Knight. The Queen of Wands. And the King. We are now going on to the Cups. And the Cups, there will be swans throughout in a blue textile background to relate it back to the water aspects. And there will also be lots of lily flowers and lily pads. The Two of Cups. Three. 4. Yeah, 5 of cups. Sorry, this is kind of in the way here. Here is the 6 with little baby swans. Then the 7 of cups. I think the reflection that was made here of the swan, it's probably to kind of tie it back to the dreamy or like illusion aspect of the 7 of cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith when you see it like the classic image. Here we have the 8 of cups. And then the 9 and 10 with the family of swans. The Page. The Knight. The Queen. And the King. Finally, we are going to the Pentacles, and it's hares. And it looks like daisy flowers or something like that. Two. 3. 4. 5 with like the tiniest of flowers. You have 6. 7. 8. 9. And the 10 with the little baby bunnies. Now we have the Page. And the Knight, which is look like this hair here in this Knight in particular is looking very expressive. The Queen. And finally the King of Pentacles. And okay, this is the whole of the deck. Now, like I mentioned, it seems like sturdy decks. It has as you can see, like I could easily kind of pass my hand around it. It has a slip to it. There's definitely not going to be issues of cards sticking together or anything like that. I find it a bit stiff if I'm trying to shuffle it that way, I will say. Oh, And clumsy alert, that is me. Let me see. Maybe I have to get used to it because I find them a little bit stiff and I'm trying to go like this. Or maybe it's just that I was not putting enough pressure. So as you can see, first off, the handmanship, is that a word? The skill is just out there. Like, it's beautiful. The handmade aspects, it's just wow. I know it would take me a lot of time to be able to embroider the way that Alicia May did. It's very pretty. The animals are so cute. I don't know what to say, especially the majors. For the major card, it's just wow all around. The minors, compared to the majors, are a little bit sparse, as we saw. I would say it's pippish with a minimal of illustration to support it. We mostly saw the amount, whatever number of whichever suit, and then we saw its little animal representative. I will say that especially for the minors, it doesn't, like, for example, if I just split like this, here we see that it's an 8 of swords. So I can remember just looking from all the past, like all the other decks that I have and the classic Rider-Waite-Smith, it's somebody surrounded by swords, and it kind of makes an allusion there to that. And here, because it's just like little dandelion seed, it would be easy to just kind of go through it. So you kind of see something like that. Let me see if I can find another pip just like this. But if I go with, well, like some cards, you can see more clearly that Rider-Waite-Smith influence. And then you go to, well, yeah, like for example, the Knight of Pentacles. I do understand you can't necessarily have a hare on a horse because, well, it probably wouldn't, like, I can't assume here, but I imagine since we're going for like an embroidered forest tarot and it's supposed to be this like magical land type of thing, you probably don't want to have the hare riding on a horse the way it typically is in Rider-Waite-Smith. But it doesn't give me necessarily movement, because out of all the animals, a hare I would not consider a slow animal. Do you know what I mean? For the ones, the fox, okay, fine. Swords, yeah. The bees are kind of zippy. Swans and water, that makes sense. But hares to me are not a slow animal. I wouldn't, like, I can see pentacles because they're, I don't know, they're more to the ground. They live in like tunnels, underneath the ground and things like that. But that's about it. Yeah, that's about the only connection I can make with hares and pentacles. And the creator does make that mention about hares living in, living underground and being off the ground, and they're pretty zippy. So I don't know. And the other thing that is kind of I'll show you once I kind of just do a card. So as you can see, like, it has a good slip. Just being careful that it doesn't the whole deck just doesn't fall out of your hand. Okay, so here, for example, look at that, the Fool. And as like I find the majors more ornate than the minors. So let's read the Fool. Okay. So first is the Fool. Beginnings, both brand new and starting over. Pitfalls and the stumbles caused by our naivety. But we persist, learn, and grow through this change, seeing the world with our still innocent eyes, but acting with our wise hearts. We begin our walk through the embroidered forest in spring. peeking low at the base of an apple tree. Peering between the daffodils and daisies, something glints and catches our eyes. A tiny robin, the bird that heralds springs, has laid her eggs in a vintage teacup. She and her eggs are in danger of predation this close to the ground. This is most likely her first laying, and hopefully she will learn by next year. The fool is full of the joys and innocence of spring, but unfortunately this innocence can get the fool in trouble. The fool asks you, what can you learn from this experience? Are you allowing your naivety to blind you? So here you can see for the majors, it has a good, like a good solid entry. But you'll notice here there's no mentions of reversals except for talking about, you know, being careful. For example, the robin laying their eggs on the ground, you know, it has to be like, it could be there for spring because a bird would be more likely to build a nest high up where predators can't get to the eggs and the baby birds. So it has notes of it, but it doesn't make a clear separation between positive aspects and negative aspects. Now let's see if I can have an example of a minor card. Let's see. Okay, there. This will be a perfect example of the thing that kind of, you know, while I was going, oh wow, this is nice, but the whole time I was like, I feel this is missing something. And the thing that was missing was between the minors being so sparse and the court cards. So here I'll read the Queen of Wands and I'll show you what I mean. Let's see, wands. Okay. So here's the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, like all the court cards in the tarot, represents a real person in your life. Queens are grown women, mothers and grandmothers. They represent the feminine side of their suit. The Queen of Wands favors laughter and celebrating. She will be the life and soul of the party. The words of this person will have meaning to you right now. Listen carefully. They may be pointing you in the right direction without them even knowing. Sometimes this is not a person in your life, but instead a personality trait within you, which can be embodied now. So I'm making a side tangent because this is another thing that is, it's a bit bothersome to my eyes, but it's not oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's useless to me. There are typos within this booklet. So as you can see, like without them even knowing, as opposed to without them even knowing. So either it's typos where it's the wrong word written. Sometimes it's punctuation that are missing or are not there. There was an example, I think, in the Pentacles or somewhere where, let me see. Was it Pentacles? Or maybe it was still... Maybe it was still Wands. But, or sometimes it's like, instead of writing go, it'll be to, and then it'll kind of throw the sentence, the whole phrase, the sentence off, and you're not too sure if, did they mean go? Did they mean to? So let's see if I can... Oh, I can't find it, of course. Now I can't find it. But, yeah. And so, here, I've read the Queen of Wands. Let me see if I can find... So, you've heard what they talked about the Queens. So, I will pull out here, because you're right here. I will pull out the Queen of Pentacles and see, and this will explain what I mean with a little bit of a disappointment. So here, let me zoom. The Queen of Pentacles, like all the court cards in this tarot, represents a real person in your life. Queens are grown women, mothers and grandmothers. They represent the feminine side of their suit. The Queen of Pentacles is affluent, cultured, stylish, and well-read. The words of this person will have meaning to you right now. Listen carefully. They may be pointing you in the right direction without them even knowing. Sometimes this is not a person in your life, but instead a personality trait within you, which can be embodied now. Can you tell? It's a repeat. It's, except for certain phrases, and even then, let me read just King of Pentacles here. The King of Pentacles, like all the court cards in this tarot, represents a real person in your life. Kings are grown men, fathers and grandfathers. They represent the masculine side of their suit. If I read Page and Knight, it'll have the same intro. It's almost essentially like a copy paste, search and replace. And then you add a little blurb that's a little bit more specific to the suit they're in. So if you, like me, I tend to read fast. The first time I went through the guidebook, I'm like, wait, hold on. Am I reading the exact, and I thought it was the exact same thing word for word without any changes between the court cards, up until I did a second and I think even a third read through, and I realized, yes, it's the same except for little things like for the Queen of Pentacles, they'll say, you know, the Queen of Pentacles is affluent, cultured, stylish, and well-read. In the case of Cups, they'll say the Queen of Cups is soft and warm. She knows how to talk to you when you're upset, and you always feel better when she's around. Like, it'll be a little thing to add a little. And compared to the rest of this, the minor suit, I mean, there's more. It's not that copy-paste thing happening. You know, the 3 will tell you, like, it's a wonderful approach, friendship and community, the card of people coming together. Okay, that makes sense. But for the courts, it's almost, I don't know, maybe it's, to me, it feels kind of like when you're writing an essay, either high school, college, university, whatever, and you're in that last stretch before your essay is done, and you are so tired and over and done with it and trying to fluff it up that, like, if you can copy paste things or like add extra words to pad it up, you are, and you will, and you kind of don't care anymore. And I feel like, I'm not saying that she didn't care in the guidebook, but it was definitely where it was kind of let go, as for the court cards at least. Because the minors entry are nice, they're good, but like the minors, it's okay. Like, it's as you can see, like, it's less said than with, you know, the majors. The majors take a whole page. In the minors, you have two numbers, 2 sets there. And yeah, I don't know, it kind of feels not as much attention was brought in the little white/green book. So not only there's typo issues, typo issues, whether it's punctuations, wrong words used, or you know, what did I say, typo? Yeah, or like commas, punctuations, wrong word, or typos. And then the court cards, it's a repeat, and then mixed with that, with the minors being so pippish. And let me see if I have, I don't know, just examples. Like, for the 2 of Cups, there's usually something about a partnership or union or something, and to me, I don't necessarily see it there. Let's see, the 2 of Pentacles, it's some sort of a balancing act going on, but I don't necessarily see it there. What else? Like, 7 of Pentacles, it kind of looks like it. The 5 of Pentacles, yeah, it kind of looks like it. Like, 7 of Swords, you know, usually it's someone kind of getting away with stuff. You don't really necessarily see it here, unless you want to argue that, like, the bee managed to pluck a dandelion seed out of there, but I feel like I'm reaching. Here, like, most evidence, you can see it. The pages, I don't know, it's really pretty. Here, like, there, 5 of Swords. I'm not, like, that whole defeat aspects kind of thing. No, I feel like the bees here are more ornamental more than anything. It's very pippish. 2 of Wands. I don't know. 6 of Wands. Like, it's pretty, but it's missing something. It's missing that extra to me, it's not very, like, me using this deck, I don't know that I could go about it the way I do with my other decks, which is more intuitive, kind of just looking at the images and letting them speak to me. With this, it's, I don't want to say flat, but it's leaving me hanging. With this deck, it's more, I would have to rely of what I know already about these cards. I can't really go on that journey that Alicia May kind of talks about in her booklet. Like, I want to go on that journey in that Embroidered Forest, the way that she explains it. It looks really nice and really fun and really cool to see all these like animals and these like magical things happening. But there's something missing to kind of throw me in there. I don't know how to explain it but that's the best way. Like, there's flat. It's pretty, but I would have, I'll give it a chance. I'll work with it. I'll draw with it, but I already know, especially with the major and even with the knights, like, you can't put a hair or a bee on a horse, fine, but there's not quite much that gives me movement or lack thereof for like pentacles, where they're pretty slow. So that's why it's kind of a little bit of a downer. I feel like, I did my video on 7 deadly sins, and one of them was lust. I think it was lust, where it was talking about a deck you bought because it was pretty, and this would kind of fit there. Like, it's pretty, but I'm not getting, just like this right now, I'm not getting much in terms of inspiration, intuition. It's a bit more of a, okay, what does X card means? It means this. What does X card mean? It means it. And then going from there and kind of building a story from there. I kind of like how looking at the images to kind of carry me places. But that's it. Like, so I'm sure there are people that love it, and for them, they're like, oh no, like, King of Swords, yes, seeing the swan with the lotus here, or the lily pads, yes, totally gives me a story. I'm already there. This 4, like, and maybe it's just me. So I'll leave it at that before I kind of, I'm not putting down Alicia May's work, because it's, I'm impressed. I love it. Me looking at these cards, I would not stop staring at the needle points and the needlework all day, because it's so pretty. It's so well done. But it's a little bit of the letdown, because, like, for example, here, like the 6 of Pentacles. And that would be an example where, there's, like, okay, we have 6 Pentacles. Like, what are the hairs doing necessarily? Not much. It's kind of, I just have to realize it's 6, it's Pentacles, it means X. And then just go from there. And also another thing, like I mentioned it earlier, is because it's silver foil, when it's on lighter textile background, it's very, depending on the angle, if you're taking pictures of it, and especially because it has a little shiny finish, it's quite easy to not be able to see what it is easily. So you might lose some of that extra details. But if I look at it, out of the camera, it's okay. But even then, like, I can lose some of the stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna stop now, because I don't wanna, I'm not putting down the deck, I'm not putting down the author. Like, I think she did awesome work. It looks wonderful. So that's it. The Embroidered Forest Tarot by Alicia May Vavoukakis. So let me know down below. Do you agree with my thoughts, or did you, if you have this deck, do you have the same issue? Did you notice the typo, or the repeating in the cards entries, which I think kind of takes away, because I if I want to enter in the magical forest, I want to hear about the king. And I know some people might be like, no, I don't see it as a person, I see it more as blah blah blah. Anyways, let me know what you think about this deck. Would you get it for yourself? If you have it, are you in the same boat as me, or no, for you it's going well? What And if it's going well for you, let me know. Like, what did you do? Because maybe I'll try for myself and see. I hopefully it's not gonna be a deck that I end up going like, no, I really don't like it. It's pretty for pretty sake, and I'm gonna give it away. I don't know. But for now, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a good try. I don't know when. It feels like a springy deck. I might still use it maybe next month or later this month, depending. But in any case, leave me all your comments, your thoughts, and everything else in the comment section down below, boop boop, down there. And until next time, thank you so much for spending some time with me to listen to me ramble on and be kind of disappointed in this deck a little, not disappointed. You know what? Let down. It's kind of a, oh, it's not what I thought it would be. Maybe it's because I overhyped myself. I gave myself too much, too much hype for the deck. I thought it was going to be something awesome, and it wasn't quite what I thought it would be. Maybe I overhyped it for myself. Anyways, let me know. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.